friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a homeschooling mama to 5. I have a baby, a toddler who's 3, a first grader, a 6th grader, and a 7th grader. And today we are diving into one of my biggest questions I get asked all the time. How do you do it? How do you homeschool when you have multiple kids without losing your mind? So, whether you're teaching big kids, chasing toddlers, or nursing a baby during a reload, I've been there. I've done it many times. So today I'm going to share you some real life tips that I use so that I can homeschool my 5 kiddos without having the chaos. And it's all about flexibility and having a good rhythm, which if you didn't check out my video from before about following a rhythm instead of a schedule and how that allowed me to kind of breathe and have flexibility, make sure you check out that video. I'll try to remember to keep it linked down below. So first things first is flexibility. I cannot say much. Flexibility is your friend. So let's start with your homeschool schedule. If you have a schedule, or maybe you call it your homeschool rhythm. We personally call it a homeschool rhythm because to me, when you say the word schedule, you're thinking time blocks, and I don't do time blocks. Your rhythm or routine that you set up should serve your family and your family's needs, not the other way around. I used to stick to a really rigid homeschool schedule, and I have a video about this too, about how I switched over from a schedule to a homeschool rhythm. But honestly, life with littles, it doesn't run on a timer, right? We definitely cannot have a clock watching us when we have littles, because meltdowns happen, accidents happen, all kinds of things throughout your day. So now I build what I call around a natural rhythm instead of strict clocks. I keep my anchor points, which is like our breakfast, our outside time, our quiet time, our lunch time, and then I plug in all of our learning around that. The key word here is flexibility. Some days it runs smoothly, some days it does not, and that is totally okay. So next thing is nap time. Nap time or quiet time is prime time of learning in our house. So I actually only have one child who takes a nap, and that is the baby. And right now, the baby takes 3 naps a day. Of course, that is going to change as she grows because she's still under 1. My toddler doesn't really take a nap because he's 3 and he thinks he's too cool for naps. But what he does do is he has quiet time. So that again is just a golden time in our house. So use those quiet windows for subjects that need more time, more focus. So for my older kids, that's depending on their needs. Like my 7th grader, I normally look and see if he needs any help with his English language arts. For my 7th grader is math. My 6th grader, I always look at his English language arts, see if he needs any help. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. For my younger son, because he's only in 1st grade, or starting 1st grade, last year I helped him. So I used time that the baby's sleeping or the toddler's occupied to actually pull him and work with him on those math and those reading skills and lessons for him. This doesn't have to be perfect. Some days it's 30 minutes here. Some days it's more. Some days we have a short stretch of focus time and then they go off and do independent. And some days we have a lot of time for me to do one-on-one and sit. Again, we're working around baby nap schedules. Also, utilize your older kids. So sometimes the baby wakes up and she's happy, right? And I'm like, hey, do you want to play with your sister on the tummy time mat? Hey, do you want to talk to your sister while she's in the swing? It works. They actually get to interact with the baby. They're spending bonding time together, and I'm able to work with my 1st grader a little bit longer, or I'm able to do something for my toddler just a little bit longer. So now let's get into that toddler. So my 3-year-old has what is called a learning band, and I actually have it sitting here beside me. And I'm going to tell you, it's a game changer. So I do change these activities out. We have what I call monthly themes or weekly themes. And what I do is I have themed activities in here, and they're simple activities that he can do by himself or I've taught him how to do. And then that's what he does. He works on those activities while I'm pulling his brothers and working with his brothers. So I'm just going to give you an example. And this is a summer. This is his summer bin. So it looks a little bit different than like an actual school bin, but I'm just going to show it to you anyways. Uh-oh, I'm losing puzzle pieces. So right now, what he has in his bin is he is obsessed with horses. So I actually got him this horses and pony sticker book. And so he loves stickers, so that's in his bin. I have a few books. So this week we have been learning about bugs all summer and been like focusing. So this is more like his colors, which he knows all of his colors, but I just put it in there for him to look at this book. I also like to read the books to them before. So like I read this book to him and now he can look at it and he remembers some of it. So it's nice that he can go in and like talk about the pictures and the things in it. I have a puzzle, which is what I dropped on the floor. So this puzzle has like magnetic pieces and you have this little catcher. And you can catch the pieces and then put the pieces back in. And it's bugs. This is a bug coloring sheet and I have some crayons and he can color. And then last I have, this has not themed at all, but he really likes these and I have it for the alphabet and for the numbers. So you have like little flashcards. And then you have the matching thing and it just sticks in there. I'm not sure where the zero is right now, but we have this for the alphabet, so it makes the 10. And it is color coded, which also helps if they're struggling with learning their numbers or the alphabet. So that's what I have in his learning bin now. I usually change this out weekly. If there's something he's loving, I will keep it in there for longer than a week. But that's normally what I do is I just change it out weekly. I am going to be doing a planning during when we start our school year back up. I'm going to be doing like on Fridays they're going to release. And on Fridays it's going to be what I'm planning to teach for the next week. So there will be in there things that I have for my toddler. And I will be showing like a toddler learning bin. So if you're interested in this, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that button because you're going to want to check out my weekly learning bins for my toddler and they will be in those videos. So I change up the activities weekly to keep it fresh and it helps him to feel included like he's doing school, but it also keeps him occupied. So while he's doing school, I'm able to work with the older boys. The next big thing that really helps us in our family is combining subjects and adjusting that subject as needed to reach both. So we'll have the same topic, but I just change it so that I reach my older kids, but I also can include my younger kids. So this is one of my favorite strategies. I love this strategy. I'm doing this strategy a lot this year with our Beautiful Feet Books curriculum, which I will be doing a video on very shortly. I like to combine subjects whenever it's possible. So we do have like a morning binder that we do together as well. And in our morning binder, all the kids have very similar things. They do their positive affirmations. We talk about the calendar. We talk about weather. My older boys, theirs is not as much as the two youngers. Theirs is more like a vocab, presidents. They still have the affirmations. So that's something that we do together. We also do like our geography, our history, our science together to an extent. So not all of my kids are doing the same thing, but they have the same topic or the same subject. And then I just base the activities off of their age or their ability. So this year we're actually using 2 different Beautiful Feet curriculums. And I'm going to be showing you exactly how I use them in upcoming videos, especially in those plan of the week videos. And I teach a lot of my core subjects like geography and literature, but I'm teaching it at levels that both of my kids can understand. And we have an overarching theme this year of around the world. And some of our art and our cooking will be done together. And we'll be studying the same continent or the same countries at one time, but the work will be completely different for my kids. So make sure you stay subscribed and stay tuned for those upcoming curriculum pick videos if you would like to see what I'm planning. So if you're a visual person, I'm just going to give you like an example now, like what a day would look like for us. So, we start in the morning with, and if you watch my rhythm video, you kind of see this. So we like to start in the morning with breakfast and our podcast. We have some thinking bins and then our morning binders. which is where the big boys are doing their vocabulary and their affirmations, and I'm working more with the little boys on our calendar back there. And then we go into like our block, so we'll have like a learning block, and this would be a great time for my toddler to do the learning bands while I'm working with my first grader. And if there's time between the baby and the nap schedules, I'll go ahead and I'll pull my 3-year-old as well early in the morning, because he's going to have themes as well. So if we're learning about bugs, I might pull him and read a picture book of bugs with him. Or we might do an alphabet activity that actually incorporates bugs. Or we might do a counting activity that incorporates that theme of bugs. That way I'm pulling him as well, and I am working with him on like his alphabet, writing his name, his numbers, shape recognition, things like that. We do like to do an outdoor playtime or an indoor playtime, depending on the weather. So I like to have that in there. And then I like to have more learning blocks throughout the day as the baby's napping. And then we have our lunch time, and then an afternoon. All of my kids have what I consider is quiet time. The baby takes a nap, and I actually change quiet time based off of her afternoon nap. So as soon as I get her down, my 3-year-old goes to his room and has his quiet time. My 6-year-old really still needs quiet time too. So a lot of times he'll go build Legos or just chill out, listen to books on our Yoda player. And what he does, and then that gives me time to talk to my older kids. Did you need help with anything? Let me look over your school. Let me make sure you understood it. And then if they didn't, then I can pull them and talk to them. And then they also, during that time, will go off and do their independent studies, which for my 6th grader, he does a lot of stuff with drawing, and my older son does a lot of stuff with photography or gardening, because that's kind of what they're into. It's not perfect, but it works for us, and I want to encourage you to create something that works for you too. So remember, your days don't have to be picture perfect, and it doesn't have to be a picture perfect schedule. Every day will not run smoothly. Just do the best that you can do, and that's all I can ask. And making connections with your children is more important than like the schedule or the time frame. So give yourself grace. Allow yourself to have space for real life. Let me know in the comments below how you're scheduling multiple kids, or if you have any questions, you can always ask them below in the comments as well, and I'll get back to you. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and check out my next videos. I will be uploading my first graders curriculum choices by the end of the week sometime, or over the weekend, and then from there I'll be working on those as well for the curriculum choices. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and happy homeschooling!